Hey guys, welcome back. It's Carter, BitsBeTrippin. I know it's been a minute, but let's get right into this. It's been about 6 months since our last real good video with you guys on YouTube, not just fully cut up or something that's a copy and paste from Twitter. And that's where we've been. People I know have been wondering where we're at here on YouTube, and I'm about to go through essentially the list since January of this year. We've had personnel changes. We've had new site development, done a lot of traveling, and it really is taken from my time with you guys on YouTube, and we're trying to restore that. So we've gotten a few new employees that are going to help me get this back on, some level of semblance of a schedule with you guys, and then cover a lot of content. There is a monster amount of content, not only have we had, but has changed in these last 6 to 7 months that I haven't been on here with you guys sharing things. And so there's a lot to cover. I know a lot of people in general in this space are kind of getting a little wore out. The price has been pretty flat over the last few months, but understand that there's a huge amount of development in this space, not just from a software side. There's also a regulatory developments. We have a presidential candidate now that is looking to really put crypto in focus, and why crypto is by design a decentralized activity. Like I've always told, any kind of government folks that I've talked to, you got to be a better participant. You're just a participant. So I think that's what we're going to start to see is services that come around on the government side and on the fintech side as, just participant services. And that will compete with some of the decentralized stuff that's out there, but it doesn't take away from the effort that you guys are doing on the decentralized side. So we're going to get into a lot of that kind of content. I'm going to try to expand more than just operations of Bitcoin mining, and even into some of the GPU mining when it comes to like Ravencoin and stuff that we still support to this day on that. And I want to bring that stuff to you guys too. But let's take a trip down memory lane here for the last 7 months that you guys haven't seen us on here, and bring you guys up to speed of what we've been doing, and then allow that to be the platform that we're now coming from on this channel and bring you guys through. So I'll first start in about December of last year is our last proper YouTube video that we made for you guys. We were just in the middle of acquiring through a joint venture with another company, this location in North Carolina. You guys that follow us on X see a lot of that content. I've tried to do a lot of daily vlogs related to it, but essentially it was a 12,000 unit GPU farm that was transitioning away from GPU farm. We bought the location. It already had 17 megawatts wired to it with a 15 megawatt PPA, which is a power purchase agreement. So we had to do a lot of changing to that site over a few months, and that required the team to be on site in North Carolina, which really kind of changed our ability to do content from like the studio and produce content as we were essentially on the road. And this facility, because it was designed for GPUs, was set up in a way that, if you have a GPU mining rig, your power, your output, all of it's on the back side of a rig. So like the power plugs were in the hot lane. Anybody that is familiar with doing ASIC mining, this is not the best setup when it comes to the power plugs being on the hot lane side, especially when you're in the sealed environment. You do not want to overcook those plugs. So there was a large transition to move all of these. It was roughly 3,060 4-gang plugs that were all 20 amp, to each circuit. There's 4 of them in there. So that transition took several months, and then really kind of sealing this up because the heat profile that an ASIC provides compared to like a GPU rig was a little different for this facility. So our team had to go through and change a lot of that. There was a lot of lessons learned, a lot of things that we captured that I can't wait to share with you guys, that we actually recorded the video and actually recorded some of the content, just had not produced the videos for you guys. So I'm trying to give you guys some insight to what's coming related to that, and, share that observe and report stuff that we always usually do with you guys. Just has been on Twitter, not so much YouTube. There's a good punch list from that we'll go through. Then, we coming out of that build, once it got kind of stabilized, we were essentially targeting 6,000 ASIC machines But transitioning from that, we went to a couple sites that we have here in Illinois and had to go through a 750 kVA transformer upgrade to 1500 kVA. So we did that. We helped with that transition at one of our sites here that actually had two N5, essentially V1s containers, or 20 footers. And once that had got upgraded, we came very quickly into transitioning some of the Canon 1246 machines, which are the 87 terahash to 90 terahash units that are around 42 joules per T, over to the K Pros, which is the 115 and 120 K Pros. They run roughly that 115 to 120 at about 2,700 watts stock. They can reach about 130, 139 pretty regularly as long as you have good air temperatures on an open air setup. You know, your 50 degrees, Fahrenheit range. They can hold that 130 range, but the joules per T are anywhere from 24 to 28 joules per T. So, you know, a full generational upgrade or 2-generational upgrade in that particular site. And the team took through that. We've done a ton of testing that we can share with you guys here in upcoming videos related to different OS strategies. If it's Brains OS, Lux OS, and Vanish being kind of the three that we've really worked with and tested on there. On top of also doing some stuff with Epic control boards, which have like it built on the control board. The OS is actually from them with perpetual tuning and stuff like that. So lots of great content related to that. And I think you guys will like those kind of results of what we've seen from that. Moving from that, we had another full build out in May. And this one I brought up on Twitter a few times and was trying to do a daily vlog each time we were doing it. You know, we were out there essentially commissioned and green lighted in late April. We got through zoning and all that in about 2 weeks. And then May 3rd, we got the green light to kind of move forward. It was a kind of a rainy week that week. So the second week into May, around that May 10th, then kicked off, like broke ground from a grass field to fully operating with machines loaded by June 3rd. So it was our fastest build yet from just like a green field kind of a setup where we able to get and show how much we've matured as a builder and a company in general to be able to build from cradle to grave a place within 3 weeks. So there is some stuff to the left of that, and I want to go through that with you guys of like kind of the pre-staging and setup stuff that you need to get in planning. Obviously, you have to coordinate things to the left of that schedule. We gotten it down to now if somebody reaches out to us, we have a site in mind for them, like between acquisition to completion, we're talking less than a month, potentially less than a month to a month and a half, cradle to grave. So we've gotten that kind of setup here with the different power companies and our vendors here. So, we're now down with our fourth setup there and more to come on that. So that was the 1.5 meg build out, and those were S19J Pro Pluses that we've had quite a few issues with, and we've been working through with folks online and sharing our experience on how to like perpetually tune those correctly using different OSs to kind of recover them, because a lot of the stuff from Bitmain coming out of Malaysia has been less than adequate when it comes to stability and just confidence that the machine's going to run with what it's posted at doing. So we've been working through some of those issues that we'd love to bring to you guys of some of those results. Maybe you have also stuff you can share with you've been dealing with S19J Pro Pluses. These are the 115 to 120 units also. So it's right before the S19K Pros, which is a little different chip setup. So we went right from that into deploying S21s at our previous location, our 5 meg location that you guys are very aware of, that we were sharing since late 2021 into 2022. And now we've went through a full life cycle essentially over the last 2 years using K Pro or the J Pros. So the S19 J Pros, the 104s, 100s, we're now sunsetting those and moving into S21s in that site in total. So that has been essentially the buildup from an operations standpoint over the last 7 months. In between that, we've transitioned some people. We've had some new people join. We have a new creative marketing director also that is going to help take these videos and kind of simulcast these on all the different socials to allow people to just explore and understand from an operations standpoint what Bitcoin mining is, how does difficulty work, how does yields work, what is your expected rate of returns, all of those type of things that are very operational and financial when it comes to like the fintech in general at a ground level for Bitcoin. That's really what our core values are, while we're also working through some transitional stuff on the data center side, which is kind of my background and wheelhouse with some of the stuff that I've done in my past and history and actually currently do, from big business like Anheuser-Busch all the way through like somebody like General Dynamics. So those are kind of my background and experience, and to be able to now transition some of these sites that may be less adequate for Bitcoin mining now, that let's say the power rates are 6.5 cents, somewhere around there. It is better set up to leverage that stuff right now for maybe medium or low density compute, or even high performance computing if you're talking like the newer NVIDIA architecture for like artificial intelligence or ML AI stuff. So we're working through a couple different options that that are in flight right now, where we have a mobile data center set up that you guys will start to see some content on. We're just out in Arizona this week, covering some of that content, and again shared on X. If any real-time stuff you guys want to follow us, if you're just discovering this video, make sure you're following us on X. We have Instagram also and a TikTok under BitsBeTrippin. A lot of that kind of real time, what are we doing, what's going on, and it kind of gives you a precursor to what the videos on YouTube are going to be. All right. It's been real, my dudes. I'll catch you guys on the next one. It's great to be back.